there's 3 Yerat Shamayims that the Orchot Tzadikim speaks out that you have to understand what it is. 3. What's the 3 Yerat Shamayims? First Yerat Shamayim, he writes over here, that you're really not afraid of Hashem, but you're afraid of what people are going to say about you. So like, you're living in a society where like, oh, if I don't go to, let's say, for shul, the people will bash me. So, for example, like if I don't wear a yarmulke, the people, so that situation, you're wearing a yarmulke for people. Okay, it's a level. It's a level of Yerat Shamayim, but that's one level of Yerat Shamayim. And therefore, you're doing it really for the people. Okay, you're still doing it though. It does make a difference. Shalom Lishma though. It's Shalom Lishma, but it's Yerat Shamayim. Right? So he says, at least that you should build on it, that you should just think also it's for Hashem. You understand? Also it's for Hashem. The second is that you fear Hashem. He says, but the reason why you fear Hashem, which is another Yerat Shamayim, is because you don't want to go, heaven forbid, for Gehinam or Gan Eden. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're scared. Oh my goodness, if I do this punishment, I'm scared of Gehinam. Oh, it's a Yerat Shamayim. It's very good, but it's a second level of Yerat Shamayim. We talk kach yitchazek b'maaseh atov. וזה האיש אפילו מקיים כל התורה בכוונה, it's good. שהוא יראה לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, אך לא הגיע לעיקר הטובה, כי כל בנותו ועבדו אינו לטובת עצמו. He says, really, in essence, the thing is, he's always worried about himself, really. He's always about himself, because he's worried about his Gehinam, his Gan Eden. The highest level is that you're afraid of Hashem, not because of anything, rather because He's Hashem. He's Hashem. It's Hashem. Like, whoa, Hashem. And Abraham Avinu got to the level of his whole body was infused with Yerat Hashem. How do we know that? It says Abraham Avinu was the third day. Third day, he had Brit Milah. Hashem visits Abraham Avinu. Now, in the middle, what happens? Abraham sees guests. And Abraham says, oh, Hashem, I'm sorry, I got to go greet the guests. So from here it says, the greater is the Achnasat is greater than the receiving of the Shekhinah. That's how we know from Abraham Avinu. But the question is, how did Abraham Avinu know that? How did Abraham Avinu know that? And the answer is very simple. Abraham, his name was Avram. It got changed to Avraham. What's the numerical value of Abraham? How much does that equal up to? 248. If you look, the Gematria is 248. That's 248 limbs of a human body. How did Abraham know that Achnasat Orchim right now will be greater and he has to do that? Because he was so infused with Yerat Hashem that as soon as the guests came, his body started moving towards the guests. So he understood that if his body is moving towards that, must be that that's what Hashem wants from him. That's how great of Yerat Shamayim he was on. It says by David HaMelech, when he would walk out, his legs would just turn him towards the Beit Midrash because he was such a high level of Yerat Shamayim. So therefore there's 3 types of Yerat Shamayim. And they're all different levels. One level, which is a level, where you're doing it because of people, which is fine. It's Yerat Shamayim, fine. There's another Yerat Shamayim where you're doing it because you're scared you're going to get punished, and you're scared what? Your reward. And there's a third, which is the highest level, is I fear Hashem because Hashem is awesome. He's like, wow, He's amazing. And that's just for Hashem, like, whoa, Hashem. It's like you have a relationship with Hashem, you have a relationship with somebody, you're scared not to mess it up. You understand? I don't want to mess up my relationship. Hashem is so whoa. And therefore, those are the 3.